So welcome to the second review of the week. This time around, we are tackling DESYNC. All right. So this is the latest release from Adult Swim Games, who provided us with a copy, one copy, and it comes from Australian developer The Foregone Syndicate. I'm not sure what's so foregone about it, but there it is. Okay. So DESYNC is a first-person. It's a single-player first-person shooter. It's in the style. If I had to describe its style, it's an arena score attack game. If you don't know what that is, more on that in a bit. But I suppose if you can tell from the trailer and such, the most striking thing about it is its very neon new wave aesthetic. Now, I mentioned at the end of the last review, this game, if you've played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, you'll be instantly familiar with what this game is going for. It's going for a very heavy throwback to the 80s kind of deal. You know, lot of neon, lot of garish colors, lot of synthwave. Now, another game that would be comparable to is Hotline Miami in terms of style. I think it was also trying to go for Hotline Miami in terms of gameplay, but more on that in a bit. I'm trying. I think there's a plot here. You're trying to save the internet from a virus or something. It's one of those games where plot doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's basically another excuse plot.
The whole point is to fly around or shooting things that are neon while neon happens.
Right. No. It's a game where you go into an infected area and you delete all the viruses or the intruders, or I'm not exactly sure what programs. I'm not exactly sure what they are exactly, except they're your enemy. You shoot them until deleted, or derezzed and all that stuff. Uh-huh. And where the term desyncing comes from is, well, when you die, you desync. And, death is, you have desynced from your avatar. You reload to sync back up. And, okay, I'll admit, I did not play this game very much, about 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, this is going to be a very love it or hate it game. There's no two ways about it. I've seen other reviews. It's gotten a lot of high praise, but a lot of people hate it. And I fell on the side that absolutely hated it. I'm like,
and why is that?
Okay, so the gameplay style, it's very fast, it's very frenetic, and you're encouraged to do unconventional stuff. When you do a new takedown, the game will slow down and give you extra points based off of that. And for example, overkill. You've killed an enemy so dead that it's kind of ridiculous. Or trying to remember what they called it, but killing an enemy with your alt fire, that'll do it. Or killing an enemy from behind, shooting an enemy in the air, and so on and so forth. Those not only get you points, but that gets you health. And it's the only way you can heal yourself mid wave, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Even then, I'm like, getting ammo back is you just kill an enemy and you'll get ammo back. And there are 4 weapons in the game, but I only got 2 of them. Like I said, I think I only got it in about the second area, and there's a reason for that. I ended up rage quitting because I absolutely could not stand the design.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So this game is pretty brutal. Like, um, you're going to be dealing with a lot of enemies most of the time, and the lower tier weapons are not really good for that purpose, especially the blue guys with hammers. Oh, the times I died to them. Like they're too powerful for their own good. I'll say it right now. But that wasn't the thing that got me. The thing that got me was the way you restarted. This seems like such a little thing, but I'll tell you, it mattered. I'm like, because this is a super hard game. In the modern sense, there's got to be a certain flow to it. Who here has played Super Meat Boy, for example?
I have.
I have a little.
Or who's played Hotline Miami?
I have also.
Then you know that, death is pretty trivial.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
with one button restarts and whatnot.
Yeah, here it actually takes you a bit longer to reset, and it's where they put you. Like, you don't start at the beginning of a monster wave. You start at the beginning of a wave. Instead of starting at, say, wave 3 and wave 4 or whatever, you start at wave 1. That might not seem like a big thing, but it is, because you end up fighting the same enemies over and over and over again until you get to the part where you die and you try and conquer that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I lost it with this game. Just the sheer repetition of fighting the same enemies same waves I killed until I get to the super brutal part that I really want to work on.
I can see where that would be a problem.
Yeah, like I said, it's not something you really notice until you get into the game, until you spent a half an hour trying to get through one wave. Because it's not only so hard, but you've got to go through the 2 other waves, and it's not always consistent that you'll make it.
Right.
No. And unfortunately, that's where I lost my patience with this game, because I get what they were going for. The score attack covers the entire wave set, but it's like, it just got ever more frustrating, and it doesn't help that the pistol and the shotgun are kind of bad weapons. I read like
shotgun's bad. Is that legal in video games?
Well, the problem with the shotgun is it runs out of ammo super fucking quick. Like that's a big problem with both the shotgun and the pistol. The pistol has unlimited ammo, but when you go down a certain point, it just pea shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, it's just a whole bunch of little frustrations that added up pretty quickly, and so I disengaged with the game pretty fucking quickly because I didn't spend 15 hours, and I know this is actually a fairly long game, and like the high level stuff is much more interesting. Like you're supposed to mix up your weapons and example, but they didn't really give me good. The starter weapons aren't all that good, and the question I asked myself at the end of the day here is, am I having fun with this? The answer was no. No, I was not having fun with this. In fact, I was reluctant to load up the game because I didn't want to spend 45 minutes in a single area getting more and more pissed off before I break my laptop.
Yeah, don't break your laptop. You kind of need that.
Yes, I will. Like I said, here's the thing. Others will love this. Others will just love the brutal challenge, and others will love replaying the same areas over and over again, to get better, because my grades in the game were C's and D's, which would be expected, first time through. It's more about getting through the levels than getting the highest score at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, there's a lot of replay value. No. Let's see. So one of the biggest selling points, perhaps literally, is the soundtrack. If you like the current new wave retro music that's going on,
Right on cue, because the 80s was 30 years ago or whatever.
yeah, it's stuff that invokes the 80s, but it's all new stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's in the it's in the style of the 80s, but it's like if you like the soundtracks to, well, once again, Hotline Miami or Fury, you'll love this. And yes, this game comes with 2 soundtracks. That's because it's a soundtrack for each artist that worked on the game. Daniel Deluxe and Voctor X. Admittedly, I'm not familiar with their work outside the game. It's like, but yeah, like with the first soundtrack, you get 11 tracks, and the second one you get 5 tracks. So there's a good.
And the difference is they have different musical artists.
Like, well, that's a pretty big difference.
Well, they're different songs from the different artists.
Yes, it's what the individual artists contributed, except for like the very first one on Daniel Deluxe's album, because the system features Voctor X, so they collaborated on like the very first track here. But otherwise, yeah, it's separate. And if you want to, and yes, you can buy the soundtracks directly from Steam.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is $7, and the second one is $3.
And I would imagine they'd be on SoundCloud or something like that because this is Adult Swim. Yes,
and the game itself is $15, which is a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's like, I think this game would benefit from a demo.
So you could try it before you wanted to buy it, before you decided if you wanted to buy it.
Yes, because I'll say it right now, this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, not just in the aesthetics, but in the play style. The play style here isn't very conventional. In terms of play style, it harkens back to, say, more Serious Sam and 90s FPSs than, your Battlefields or Call of Duties. I know some people will absolutely love it for that reason, but like my experience alone was, I really, really, really wanted to like this game because I really dig what they're doing with the art direction and all that stuff. But if you don't like this kind of gameplay, then I'm going to recommend, if you like the aesthetical values, go play Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're thinking about picking up the package, I'll recommend picking up the complete package. You can buy the game and the soundtracks in a bundle for about $20. Now,
and you can just switch between soundtracks in game.
Well, no, the Steam soundtracks you buy is actually the music you can play through Steam.
Yes, like it'll actually go to your music player on Steam. You do have.
There's a music player on Steam?
Yes, there is.
Where is it?
Well, we'll show you later.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just curious. I have played the music I've gotten from some games on Steam before, but I've done it by going into like the Steam files and just opening the MP3s.
Yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that in the post show.
Okay, no, it's not critical. Just I did not know that was there.
Yeah. Let's see. If I have to give a score value, because I kind of have to with the feedback here, I'd say a 6. But my actual review is, if you dig this kind of gameplay style, you'll love it. This game will also can and will piss you off a lot because it's designed to be very, very brutal and unforgiving.
Well, fair enough.
All right, so I think that'll about do it for the reviews this week.
Yay.
Hey, all right. We only have one show this week.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
I have a thing Tuesday. Sorry.
Well, don't celebrate too much. The next 2 weeks we got, we're doubling up. So, but more on that in the weeks ahead. This week on the main Fragments of Silicon show, we're going to have Ryan Davis of Rye Guy Games. They most recently did a game called Adventureland. Naka did a first look of that some months ago. In fact, I think it's his most recent first look. Like he's Ryan is Ohio based, so.
Oh right, that one.
Yes. Like I think Naka and Barry experienced the game at a local games convention, and that was the hookup there.
Wait, what's the guy's name?
Ryan Davis.
Let me open my window for a second. Hey, Ryan! Okay, he's nearby.
I mean, nearby in terms of state.
What, you can't hear across the state? What's your problem?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I don't know if Naka wants to ask anything of Ryan. I honestly haven't asked Naka because, honestly, asking him things about the show is kind of. I might get a response, maybe.
Yeah.
So, anyway, speaking of which, our reviews next week are indeed Adventureland. Yeah, we're going to be reviewing the game he most recently made. It's a 2016 game, but sometimes these things happen. Played a bit of it. It's interesting. Not not super a huge fan of some of the physics. Like, it's very floaty. I get that that's sort of the point, but sometimes you die because of the floatiness. But yeah, I've only played like a half an hour, like the first chapter, so much more to go there. Also, we'll be reviewing Giga Chess. From if you'll recall, we did an interview with Gigatros Games. This is their released game. So played about an hour of that so far. It's really interesting. It's really hard too, like really challenging. Like more on both of those games next week, and worth noting, all of us have both games, so there should be a lot more conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as MSP goes, it's.
I was about to say we better be having one this week. I have an interview to do.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on because we have a guest. Petty Fan, why don't you tell people about that, because this is something you set up.
Okay, the guest we have for MSP this week is Drek and Seabass from Nest. They do Final Fantasy XIV raid videos. It's like kind of a comedy thing where it's basically a bunch of average dudes just trying to get through the upper end raid tier on Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay, you said raid videos, yes?
Yes.
Not rage videos.
Yes. RAID, not...
I imagine there could be a bit of both.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about raid videos.
Yes, clearly. But yeah,
Wait, I forgot my favorite song. It's about going forward and back, and then forward and back.
Oh, you haven't even done that fight yet, have you?
Nope. But I fucking love that song.
But yeah, so that's going to be interesting because hopefully by then he will have the final clear video of the hardest fight in the game up. Because apparently they got a little emotional. So that's going to be fun. And so yeah, it's during MSP. Hope you guys can come join us.
Yeah. Our first guest in fucking hell. I don't even know when. Anyway.
I don't think we had one last season.
It's entirely possible, although last season lasted like 100,000 years. So.
Not wrong.
Anyway, so until Wednesday, I wish you good gaming.